And then the last thing that you might find useful is it's not enough to draw your polygon and extrude and bevel it. I'm going to turn it a different color. It's important that when you extrude and bevel it that you turn it a color and turn off the stroke. The stroke just gets in the way. But it's not enough to extrude and bevel and tell it how far back to go. There's my pencil and I want it to be in perspective, get smaller. That's easy stuff. I mean, the computer's going to do all that for you. The hard part are the small details, like the Ticonderoga logo. What's it going to do if it goes back into space? Or how to handle what the center of the pencil would look like from this perspective. So those little details are the things that you kind of have to problem solve. And a lot of it's hard to know what you don't know until you need it, like the Ticonderoga logo going back into space. But some of the things we can kind of problem solve. So if I needed to do the circle, the pencil lead, I can make the pencil lead as it would be roughly the right size, but that wouldn't make any sense because the pencil's not yellow all the way back. But that hexagon, if we treat it, so I've copied and pasted in front, and I'm holding the Shift and the Option button down, I'm shrinking from the inside out. I'm leaving just a little yellow space around the outside of it. And I'm going to turn that middle the color of the wood, or a color that is supposed to be wood. And then I'm going to switch to an ellipse tool and I'm going to draw a circle in the middle of that. So basically what we're looking at is right down the middle of the pencil, and I'm going to turn it black. So I'm looking right down the middle of the pencil as if I stack the thing up and I can't see any farther than that. But the extrude and bevel treats things funny. So let's say I just grab them all and I go to extrude and bevel right now. I hit the preview button. It treats them all as separate things. So I've got the gray thing and the yellow thing behind it and the black thing on top of it. So that doesn't really work per se. I guess it could work if I were going to pull the pencil lead out and I wanted to know what that pencil lead was going to look like inside of it. I could kind of use my mind's eye there, but I want to group this first and then extrude and bevel. And what should happen is it maintains the order in which I put them in. So you can see here I've got that brownish gray face and the circle, and all of that, when I click OK and I move it over here, stays in perspective. And I can ungroup it. Whoops, that's not what I want to do. I can expand it and then ungroup it, and it treats all these various surfaces as their own thing. So now if I wanted to, I could turn the face of that back to a little brighter shade of that peach color. My pencil lead is the black color. I can come in, I can change all of these back to white now with a black stroke. I can make that black with a white, or white with a black stroke. And then that gives me, I can now edit it either here in Illustrator or I can edit it in Photoshop. I would do the barrel that I, from the last tutorial the same way. But that gives you the appearance of an unsharpened pencil, and that ellipse is in the correct perspective and the hexagon is in the correct perspective, and that allows you to have an unsharpened pencil that kind of goes back into perspective as well. So you can have as many of these pencils as need be, and you can think of them in terms of, what might this thing be if I were doing, let's say, an aircraft carrier. For some reason this could be the gun, or if I were doing a tank, this could be the gun just by itself. Or maybe I can stack and repeat these things. I'm going to group it. I can stack and repeat these things, and the whole thing would appear as if it were going back into space if I repeated them at the correct angle. So now, I can build the wall of a log cabin out of these pencils in perspective just by the way that I rotate and move them around. The perspective is going to take over because I've done this work correctly. So really the limitation is your imagination. You have the ability right now to make a creation of stackable pencils. Straight stackable pencils. We'll tackle in another video what to do or how to manipulate and warp them. So this one's done. You can move on.